just after I sat right here in this spot telling y'all that I was craving more from male R&B. So the tone of his voice and the aesthetic of the video immediately piqued my interest. Because a lot of his references in his music are very classic. He reminds me a lot of like a Frank Ocean or a D'Angelo. For Khamari, I really could see him being one of the major artists that stand out, but still writing and producing for other artists in the background, like a Ty Dolla $ign or even Frank Ocean. He's definitely more so on the soulful side of the male R&B. So finding Khamari was definitely a breath of fresh air. Hello, hello, hello. I am Nikole and welcome back to the channel. Hello, hello, hello. I'm Nikole and welcome back to the channel. Now today we're getting into another episode of Phase 1. This episode is centered on the new R&B singer Khamari, who just released his debut EP, A Brief Navarre, and linked up with RCA. So let's take a look at Phase 1 for Khamari. So I'm pretty sure by now y'all can probably guess how I discovered Khamari. Once again, scrolling through social media, scrolling through Instagram, and one of the blogs had posted a snippet of his music video. And it was just after I sat right here in this spot telling y'all that I was craving more from male R&B. So the tone of his voice and the aesthetic of the video immediately piqued my interest. After a short dive into his social media, I put a pin in that and shortly after found my way to his project, A Brief Navarre. Khamari is a singer, songwriter, and producer from Boston. Now, I couldn't find much information on him, but what I was able to find was he started his music career before attending the Berklee College of Music. Already being familiar with several instruments, he seemed to have dropped out of school and took his talent to LA. He released his debut single, Jealous, in 2020, leading into his debut EP, El Dorado. After the release of that project, he found success with several streaming services, playlisting, and even being featured in major blogs. All of those things helped lay the foundation and expand his audience, preparing him to release his latest project, A Brief Navarre. Some of my favorite tracks by Khamari are Tell Me, Right My Wrongs, and Dr. My Eyes. Now, Khamari stands out for me because a lot of his references in his music are very classic that you don't really hear in the mainstream, pulling notes from artists like Nina Simone and Al Green. And when it comes to the content of his music, it's more so based in introspection versus what we're typically seeing now of the toxic relationship. He writes more about his mental health journey, battling anxiety, and just the ebbs and flows of the 20s. He reminds me a lot of like a Frank Ocean or a D'Angelo, even a little bit of Music Soul Child is sprinkled in there. He's definitely more so on the soulful side of the male R&B, so finding Khamari was definitely a breath of fresh air. His aesthetic is very warm and inviting and gives a beautiful landscape for his music. He's definitely not one to be over-styled or over-trendy, and I love that. But let's get into the visuals so y'all can see what I'm talking about. As you all know by now, we have added music video reactions to Phase 1. So we are about to get into the visual for Dr. My Eyes. And as usual, we have to cut it up for the copyright. So if you guys would like to see the full music video reaction, you can slide over to my Patreon and subscribe for only $3. Now, let's get into the visual. Ain't this supposed to be my glory day? You could see him either being like a songwriter or being one of the major artists that stand out, but still writing and producing for other artists in the background, like a Ty Dolla $ign or even Frank Ocean. Like I said, I could not find much information about him online. Even his social media is pretty clean, at least his professional social media is clean. Everything is just directly related to the music or imagery from his visuals and photo shoots. So I'm assuming for him, the way to find more exposure would be just working with more artists or even doing a festival run or two. He did just link up with RCA, so I'm assuming more things are in the works. But even just having him open and collaborate with his label mates such as Her, Lucky Day, Victoria Monet, or even Miguel seems to be the right move for him. He stated before that his aim is to find the balance between musicality and contemporary style. So just looking at the visuals, his content, and his music, I feel like he's on the right track to achieve that goal. And for me, I think his music is strong enough. I think he can be the type of artist to maintain a level of mystique, but still have a viable career based off of the quality of his music. So he is not one that I'm looking for the commercial gains from. But you guys let me know. If you guys are familiar with Khamari, drop down in the comments below. Let me know what you think and what some of your favorite songs are. Or even drop down some suggestions for people that you think Khamari could collaborate with. You guys already know what to do here on YouTube. Be sure to comment, like, and subscribe. Also hit that notification bell so you never miss a drop. If you guys would like to see the extended version of this video and get more bonus content, you guys can slide over to my Patreon and subscribe for only $3. And I'll catch y'all in the next video.